Hi everyone, today we are going to be colouring this gift tag. This is the third one in the series of 4 that are a free download, and from Agotapop illustration. Obviously in the description I will send you the link to her free downloads. So the mittens, I think they're rather fun, and we could colour them in all sorts of colours. I think I would like to have a go at colouring them purple. I just think that would be some fun. So I've got number 6 here from my Staedtler set. I might just try and zoom in a little. Let's see where we're at. There we go. And show you how I am going to colour them. So I want to make them very slightly darker on the outside, so I'm going to put a few more layers on the outside, including the very top there, compared with the middle. And the reason for that is just it makes them look a little bit more bulky, because they aren't completely flat. Although there are no hands in here, obviously, they are still mittens after all, and they will be fluffy, so they will be a little bit bulky. So just to make a little bit of that, so just less layers as we go towards the middle of the mitten, but it's not huge, it's not like it's shiny and metallic, it's just a little subtle difference. Now you can see that I'm colouring right over the top of the pattern. I'm not going to ignore that pattern, I just think it's quite fine. So if I tried to colour around it, I think it would make my colouring very uneven. So what I'm going to do is to go over it in a pen after. And I'm trying to decide actually at this moment while I'm colouring quite how to approach that. I could just use a white pen. And I probably leave these lines white. I can leave those because they're easy, they don't sort of get in my way, as it were. So yeah, I could do it white, but then these lines might not look perfectly white. I think my paper is white, it's a Bristol board, I'm pretty sure it's completely white, but I don't know. So I think what I'm going to do is do them silver. Now, because you can get silver thread, and I think that would look nice and festive. And I have to think about whether I want to go with a glitter, which is unlikely to be realistic on a glove, or whether to just go for a silver metallic pen. It may depend on whether I've got a silver metallic pen. I think I do. That could be a problem, but I'm pretty sure that I have. So there's our first mitten. I think it needs to be a little bit darker just up here. See, once I finish, I sort of sit back and look at it from a distance, and I can just assess the colouring and whether I want to change anything. And then the one underneath, we're going to do the same. You could of course do them different, but I think it's unlikely they wouldn't be a matching pair. But it makes it more interesting if they're not the same colour. Actually, kids these days, they don't like matching as far as I'm aware. Odd socks seems to be really the thing. I don't know whether it's just in the kids I know or whether it is something for everyone. My nephew, I saw him recently and he was wearing odd socks. He showed them to me. They were actually socks that I'd bought him, because apparently his mum had said, oh, he needs some socks for his birthday. This is going back, his birthday's in August, and because he hasn't got any matching pairs and he really likes to wear matching socks, I was like, oh, okay. So I bought him some cute little socks. They had little dinosaur faces on. They were sort of matching but different colours. And when he showed me his socks there, he had, they were both from the same set of socks, but they were different colours. So obviously he's already struggling to match them. I think what happens is that they have, my sister's got 4 children, or one of them's at university, but it creates a lot of washing, and I think sometimes the wash load gets split. You know, she does one day and leaves a bit for the next day because it doesn't all fit in the machine. And that would mean that the socks get split within the wash and then they don't get paired up. They might lose their pair. But anyway, I am wondering whether to do this fluffy bit in a pink rather than leaving it white, or whether to leave it white. No, I'm not going to leave it white because it's quite a big area. So I'm just looking to try and see which shade of pink. I think I'll do the light pink. Oops. In the Staedtler set, number 20 is the lightest pink. I just jumped then. My letterbox went, my postman's been. I think it's a very exciting delivery of lateral flow tests. But, ooh, I'll have to rush down and get those. Unfortunately, we were doing some yesterday before visiting my parents, and we didn't have enough for each of us to do one. So I got the children and my husband to do them. He works in an office with lots of people, thousands of people, and the children go to college, and obviously there's 2,000 kids at their college, I think, or more. So I tend to not go out so much, although I had not come into contact with so many people. Where the gloves are on top of each other, there would be a little bit of shadow, and I think we'll colour that in. We need to do it quite subtly. We don't want a huge amount of dark on this pretty light picture. But number 8 is a grey, and we should be able to, what I do is I colour over the line and then just a little bit out from it, all the way around, like that. And it gives a slight impression that there's a little bit of shadow, and hopefully that one's sitting on top of the other. It's quite subtle. I don't want to go too dark with the grey because I don't want it to look all grey. So I'm just going to leave it at that. And what I've decided I'm going to do is to do some silver on these, definitely. And so I'm not going to do that now because I'll just make a big mess and smudge it. So we'll do the other aspects. I'm going to show you a different way to do the star. We had a star in our last one, and I thought we'd do this one slightly differently. So we're going to start with number 42, which is the orange. Let's pull down a little bit. And we're going to go around the edge of the star with the 42 to start with. And then we're going to bring in our orangey yellow, which is number 11, and finish it off. I'm going to go over the top of that orange to help it blend into the yellow. And our star will be really bright then. And I think an orangey yellow goes really well with a purple. So for me, that works. Okay, now again we have holly and mistletoe, which we've had in other pictures of these, and the berries. So I'm just thinking if there are a different way I can do this with you. Let's have a think. Yeah, let's do the holly in a completely different colour. Not completely different colour, in a different shade of green. So 52 will start, and we'll do all these tips in the darker colour and then scumble it in. So we'll go quite hard around the edge and then scumble it in towards the middle and get lighter and lighter as we go. Okay, that'll be a different way of colouring in. It's a bit rough and ready. I'll go back over it because I find as much as you can use a blender or a lighter colour to help you, if it's a bit messy, it's better if you start off with it a bit neater. So there we go, like that. We'll do the same on the other side. It's not symmetrical, but we'll still do our holly in the same way. And you of course can use your own technique for colouring it. I think holly is actually something that I can sometimes draw. Sometimes it goes horribly wrong and I seem to do it backwards. You know, you do this sort of shape, bump, 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 and sometimes I end up doing my other side the wrong way or something, and something goes a bit wrong. But I can sometimes draw it if I want to sort of pop it on a Christmas card or something. Right, so that's that bit, and then we're going to go lighter, but we're going to use a different colour green than we used before. We're going to go with this, whoops, with this one. So that'll be quite different. This is 56. You could use 57 if you don't have 56. And just go into that middle. and go over that area that's a bit lighter, and then just take that colour out. Press quite hard in the middle, but yes, as you go to the edge, like that. We've got a very different looking holly there, which is good. And you can keep layering up these pencils if you want to. It depends on the paper you're using, of course, how many layers you can get away with. There we go. Now that's the colour we've been using for the mistletoe, so we'll use something different. Don't want to go too dark. Yeah, we'll use this to start with, the number 57. You may have used it here, but don't worry. We'll use it for the bottom and just fade it out as best we can. Same here. Like that. And we'll do that on all, there's quite a few. I've just realised we've missed a holly leaf, but hey, we'll come back to that in a minute. Did you notice and shout at me? I can't hear you. It's like people that read the news and then say, see you tomorrow. You won't see me. Probably ever. I don't think I've ever met a newsreader. There we go. So before I finish that one, I'm going to go back to the holly piece. So number 52. Remember we went around the edge with this. Yeah, just there. And then fade it in towards the middle. It's a little bit tricky with the berries there, but I think we can cope if you just go slowly, because it's a small piece, it's okay. And then remember using the 56 in the middle. I notice there's a lot of Christmas films on in the afternoons now. I don't normally watch TV very much in the day, rarely. For the edge of the mistletoe, I haven't forgotten, we haven't finished that. I'm going to use number 50. So I'm just going to start where we started fading the other colour and just take it to the edge. It's a different mix of greens than we've done on the other ones. I think it's interesting and different. Yeah, I'm not one for watching loads of telly. I watch a little bit in the evening, a few quizzes and stuff sometimes, but only when Strictly is on. Strictly Come Dancing. It's like Dancing with the Stars if you're in the US or other countries. I think most countries have a version. I really enjoy it. It's on in the winter on a Saturday night, but we also have little spin-off shows on all week, which I also watch. Now these berries, I'm not going to do them red like holly berries. I'm going to keep them more like mistletoe berries, and I'm actually going to do them in silver, completely silver, but glitter. So my plan now, I've worked it out, is to do silver but not glitter on the gloves, then silver glitter on the berries and on the snow. But we need to do a little bit of a background colour just to help us, the snow to show up really. And I'm trying to think what to do for that. We could do a lilac. Oh, we've missed a leaf. Okay, number, what did we do? 57. Is that right? Hopefully. Yeah, I'm thinking lilac. And number 50. Sorry, you couldn't see that. It was very blurred, wasn't it? So in our 36 set, we have a number 62, which is a sort of pale purple. I think I'm going to do that. And the idea is to make it a little bit darker near the centre and then just fade it out. You could miss this bit out if you don't want to do a background. if you're going to do glittery snow, it'll show up anyway, even if you've got no background. So you could. It's better with a blunt pencil, and that's definitely not what I've got here. But anyway, I do the best I can to sort of show you. Basically, we just want a really light layer, and we can build that up if we need to. If we have the pencil on its side, it's a little bit lighter when you apply it. That's a bit dark there. And don't forget, you can use your eraser if you need to take it back if you've done it a little bit too dark. These Ergosofts erase fairly well, which is good news. Don't worry if you go over the berries or anything, because remember we're going to be doing them in pen. And the pens I use cover pencil really well. So that's okay, I'm not going to worry about that. Just trying to do a light bit around here. Oh, excuse me sniffing. I think it's just that time of year. I have had a request for how to colour snowflakes. Now, I did post a picture with some snowflakes on, and that's where the comment came. Now, on the picture, the snowflakes were drawn in already, and all I did was went over them with a silver pen. But I shall show you some more sophisticated techniques, shall we say. So I have got a silver Posca pen, which I'm going to nearly drop on the floor. Sorry, which I'm going to use for the design on the gloves. So I'm just going to gently start to colour that, see if it wants to work. Yeah. You just check that's working. Yeah. It's not always easy to see if the paint's flowing properly. If it doesn't flow out of your Posca, shake it really well, and then get a rough piece of paper and pump the nib up and down hard. It feels really weird when you first do it. It doesn't feel like you should, we've always been taught don't press on a nib, you'll break it and all that, but that's how you do it, and they're very strong. And I've run out a few, and the nibs have all been absolutely fine, so don't worry about it. Don't show your children doing it, because they might do it with their felt pens or markers, or your felt pens or markers. Ugh. Because of course if you press too hard on those, the nib pushes into the pen, and I don't think there's a way to get it out. I don't know if tweezers would work. Oh, I haven't done that one. There's no technique to this, I'm just filling in the gaps that are drawn there for us. And the finer pen you have, the better really for this, because it's quite small, but it's good fun. I don't know if you can see the silver yet. It depends on the angle, and sometimes it needs turning to the light. Okay, I'm just checking that's all done. It is. And we're going to use the glitter pen for the snow and the berries, just so they're a bit different. You could use any brand really that you've got. Again, you want something with a very fine tip, but I think glitter pens tend to anyway. We're not going to do anything extra with the leaves. I'm just going to leave them. Do those. There's the top there. There we are. So I will tip that so you can see it, and then you will be able to decide if you like that, like that. So there we go, there are our mittens, and we're all done. So thank you very much for watching. Please do subscribe to the channel if you like it. That's always really lovely. Drop a like if you enjoy the video, and thank you very much for watching, and happy colouring.